We're in the building adjacent to that, the convention center here in Indianapolis. Amie Wells, Mike Keith, glad to have you with us. And not only are there workouts going on, but guess who's here? The defensive backs and the corners are all vying to be that number one guy. And as you know, defensive backs are generally not shy.
No, they're not shy. They're typically a very chatty group. And there's a lot of good competition that you're seeing on the field as guys are starting to, get after it a little bit, trying to show off.
Here's an example. Joey Porter Jr., cornerback from Penn State. Not surprisingly, if you remember his dad, Joey Porter from the Steelers, he's pretty confident in his abilities.
It's very important to me. I feel like I'm CB1 for a reason. I feel like I'm the best corner here. So I'm just here to really show my talents and prove why.
The talk continues to be about what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers. Not a surprise that we would go there. The other talk continues to be about when and if Lamar Jackson will get his contract situation sorted out with the Baltimore Ravens.
Absolutely. There's a lot to watch, and those seem to be the two big dominoes that everybody's waiting to fall before the rest of free agency can really start.
We had a chance to visit with Judy Batista from NFL Network, who covers the whole league, and she raises the common sense question about the Lamar Jackson thing, and why not now?
What's so interesting about this situation is if you're the Baltimore Ravens, you have one of the premier talents in the league. Why are things so bad? Like, I know he wants the guaranteed contract, but like the idea that you could lose this guy, like how are we at this point? And the Baltimore Ravens are a very well-run organization, That this has sort of gone sideways so far is sort of mystifying to me, and I understand why the Ravens, their owner, when Deshaun Watson got the fully guaranteed deal from the Browns, the owner of the Baltimore Ravens was the owner who spoke up publicly, blasting that, like, fully guaranteed. And here we know why, because he knew this was going to impact their situation with Lamar. I don't know how the contract situation ends. It's unfathomable to me that Lamar Jackson would not be with the Baltimore Ravens, but, who knows? I mean, I never imagined it would be where it is right now.
You'll have a chance to listen to our entire interview with Judy Batista on today's OTP. It's already posted at TennesseeTitans.com. You can get the OTP anywhere that you get your podcasts. Also on that OTP, Cynthia Freeland, the numbers, metrics, analytics guru from the NFL Network. And as we sat here and talked to her, we're blown away.
I'll tell you what, I never think as hard as I have to think when I'm talking to Cynthia Freeland, because she is so smart and she's talking about things that I can't typically wrap my brain around. But she was able to simplify something that is kind of a nebulous concept, and that, of course, is analytics.
She makes the point, as the Titans become more of an analytics-centric team, that it's not going to be the only thing they do, and it's not a magic potion.
There's a lot of people who are average in between. That's the law of averages. And what you really want to do is you want to find those players that are kind of in the middle, but in my system, they're better than the middle, right? So I find my kind of guy. What does that mean? I need a guy. Some teams don't play with a fullback. Other teams do. If you use that, some teams use heavier sets, so you need a different type of tight end. This is a really good, strong tight end class, but some of them are different. Some of them are more pass catchers, and others are blockers. Not everyone's kind of everything, right? So you have to say, I need you to do this, and in my system, your skill set is better than in another system. A team, if I'm playing for the Titans, it's a totally different look than the Kansas City Chiefs. Totally different strategy. So you need to fit my system. I need to identify the traits in a player that fit my system.
So when we're talking about analytics, we are not talking about some nebulous
it's not a black box.
Strategy
of box.
Whatever. This is an organization of information.
It's just it's organizing your own information.
So we've got Judy Batista, we've got Cynthia Freeland, and we have Dane Brugler, the draft expert from The Athletic, on today's edition of the OTP. Again, TennesseeTitans.com or wherever you get your podcasts. It is going hard here on this Thursday in Indianapolis.
It is. There's a lot of activity. There's a lot of work still to be done. And we're excited to bring it all to you. TennesseeTitans.com/podcast. And then, of course, Jim Wyatt outworking all of us.
Outworking all of us. At TennesseeTitans.com, you can find Jim. You can find some of our interviews that have been posted throughout the week. Obviously, you can get the OTP. And another exciting thing is we're putting together mashups of all of the different position players at the podium. So if you're interested in seeing and hearing some of the big prospects, we've got some of their best comments at TennesseeTitans.com, which needs to be your one-stop shop. Thanks so much for joining us here in Indianapolis at 5.